So now you're gonna have to get permission from Big Brother to ride your e-bike. Well, who would have ever saw that coming? Yeah, well, a lot of us did. Stick around, let's get into what's going on there. Well, hello again, Internet. Welcome back to the channel. We're gonna go ahead and reset this. There we go. Get my trip reset because I'm on a freshly charged battery. But yeah, I just had heard that California is now saying they're trying to pass a bill that says you have to have a license just to ride an e-bike. Yeah, we should have seen this coming. Matter of fact, some of us did see this coming. We even did a video about these fast e-bikes and what goes on with that. But you know what I'm going to do, I think I'm just going to ride along here and I'm going to voice over. I'm going to read Assembly Bill, this California Assembly Bill number 530. Go check it out for yourself. There's some redacted stuff in there that I'm not going to be reading, but I'm going to go ahead and read that bill while I'm on my morning ride.
Okay, this is going to be Assembly Bill 530 in California. Vehicles, electric bicycles. Existing law defines an electric bicycle and classifies electric bicycles into 3 classes with different restrictions. Under existing law, an electric bicycle is a bicycle and rules pertaining to the operation of bicycles apply to electric bicycles. Existing law prohibits a person under 16 years of age from operating a Class 3 electric bicycle. A violation of the vehicle code is a crime. This bill would prohibit a person under 12 years of age from operating an electric bicycle of any class. The bill would state the intent of the legislature to create an e-bike license program with an online written test and state-issued photo identification for those persons without a valid driver's license. Prohibit persons under 12 years of age from riding e-bikes, and create a stakeholders working group composed of Department of Motor Vehicle, the Department of California Highway Patrol, the Transportation Agency, bicycle groups, policy and fiscal staff, and other relevant stakeholders to work on recommendations to establish an e-bike training program and license. Because the bill would prohibit certain persons from riding electric bicycles, the violation of which would be a crime, the bill would impose a state-mandated local program. California Constitution requires the state to reimburse local agencies and school districts for certain costs mandated by the state. Statutory provisions establish procedures for making that reimbursement. This bill would provide that no reimbursement is required by this act for a specified reason. And if you go down through, you're basically going to read this exact same thing again. I'll go through it. I think this is actually the exact same. Yep. Now we're going to get into section 2121(3)(a). A person under 16 years of age shall not operate a Class 3 bicycle. B. A person shall not operate a Class 3 electric bike or ride upon a Class 3 electric bike as a passenger upon a street, bikeway as defined in section 890.4 of the Street Highway Code, or any other public bicycle path or trail, unless that person is wearing a properly fitted and fastened bicycle helmet that meets the standards of either the ASTM, American Society for Testing and Materials, or the United States Consumer Product Safety Commission, or standards subsequently established by those entities. This helmet requirement also applies to a person who rides upon a Class 3 electric bicycle while in a restraining seat that is attached to the bike, or in a trailer towed by the bike. A person under 12 years of age shall not operate an electric bicycle of any class. Section 3, no reimbursement is required by this act pursuant to Section 6 of Article 13B of the California Constitution, because the only cost that may be incurred by local agencies or school districts will be incurred because this act creates a new crime or infraction, eliminates a crime or infraction, or changes the penalty for a crime or infraction within the meaning of Section 17556 of the Government Code, or changes the definition of a crime within the meaning of Section 6 of Article 13B of the California Constitution. Now that's going to be pretty much your relative sections of AB 530 in California. As I said when we did the video about will e-bikes be banned, this is what's coming. And
so, what do we think of that? Oh, and might I point out how technically savvy us old cowboys can be, because I knew how long it was going to take to read that after I put this video up. Is that just not incredible or what? So, what do we think of this? Under 12 years old, no bike for you. None. No electric bike. Under 16, class 1, class 2. No class 3 for you. I guess, you know, a lot of you guys know I used to be into off-road racing many years ago. One of the things they do right now is promoting these off-road races are for these Stasic motorcycles, and they're little 4-year-olds riding these things. They're almost like push mobiles, but they're electric. And boy, I tell you what, these kids really get into it. But it teaches them nice and early about things, you know, sportsmanship, competitions, how to go out there and, you know, battle in the world. I guess that maybe isn't going to make it. I don't know if they consider that a bike or not, electric bike. And you know, a lot of this stuff, if you recall, we just did a video, probably within the last month or two, about these fast e-bikes. And I think we had the class 1, class 2, and class 3. And that was not bad. They've been around for a while. But then they started making them faster than that. And at first it was more, just maybe the moped style bikes that were faster, you know, the Surrons and things like that with pedals. But then they got into the wired bikes. Some of the juiced bikes are going over to 28 miles an hour. They're still calling all of these things electric bikes. And because of these fast ones, well, now they've already thrown a blanket over top of all e-bikes. And they specifically went over to class 3 e-bikes as well. And of course, anything above that. Wouldn't it have been nice if when these manufacturers started making something above a class 3 e-bike, if they would have called it something different, just not an electric bike? You know, I don't know what they could have called it, but if they would have put a different name to it, maybe that's what the government would be going after, and it would have left the rest of us alone on our electric bikes. But who knows? Who knows? But they're going, you know, like I say, they're going after the class 3 e-bikes. They've thrown that over the blanket, or underneath of the blanket. And I promise you, they will get the class 1 and class 2 as well. Let's see, where do we want to go today? you know, everybody's kind of headed off to work, so I'm just going to stick to the field today rather than going down Crantalk Road, and cars get kind of loud coming by. So we'll just take an easy ride down the field. But yeah, these regulations, they're trying to push them for, you know, all electric bikes. And maybe if they was trying to push them for, you know, super fast pedal mobiles, if they named them that, maybe they would have left the electric bikes alone. But it's, you know, that ship has sailed already. So now what are we going to do about it? Is this already enacted? No, this still has to pass. But like you know, it's like I said way back on that video, it's on its way. There's no question about that. When you start getting some of this stuff going fast, you know they're going to go after it, and they're going to go after everybody on it at that point. And so this is what we've got now. Yep, this is what we're going to have to deal with now. And of course, I know this is only in California that this is going on now. But where is Las Vegas? Where is Las Vegas? Las Vegas is in Nevada. That's right. That's right. Because we know what happens in Vegas stays in Vegas. But we also know what happens in California. They try and push to the rest of the country. So that's what's coming. And I tell you, I know this is going to be a pretty short video, but I'd really like to hear the thoughts that you guys have on this. It's probably not going to affect most of us by the time this, you know, it'll be 20 years, 25 years before they push that everywhere, but it'll get pushed to everywhere. But yeah, even I can just see it now, getting pulled over out here in the field. Let me see your license. and oh, what's coming next? Well, wait a minute. If we got to have a license, well, let's see if I can get my foot up there and pull that stick off my fork. Ha! I did it. If you got a license, well, you better register your e-bike now. Yep, and now that you got it registered and got a license, well, you got to have insurance. What if you cause an accident to somebody else? You've got to have liability insurance to ride this thing anywhere. So out here in the field, maybe I'll have the game warden come out here. Let me see your license, registration, and insurance for that bicycle, mister. I'm half inclined to tell a little story about the off-road riding. I think I'll just save that. Even though this is a short video, I think I'm just going to save that one for another day. It just reminded me of that when I said the game warden coming out. What the heck, let's go ahead and throw a story out here for you. You guys know when I was younger, I was really heavy into the off-road motorcycle riding. Well, when I was pretty darn young, like I think I was in high school, and I'm going to finish out the video with just this little quick story, but I was good on a motorcycle. There was no question about that. I skipped school. I kept my motorcycle at my buddy's house. That his dad always took us to the races. They had a trailer, you know, an enclosed trailer for the bikes and everything, so we could get dressed in there and stuff. And so I kept it there, and so I skipped school one day. And I went out and rode my dirt bike. I did not know it, but the State Game Commission had just taken over some land that we always rode on. And I was cracking out through there. I rode a Husqvarna, and this guy comes running out of the woods, waving his arms and everything, stops me, grabs my handlebars. He says, "You're on state game property. You're in big trouble, mister." And I didn't know what to do. And "You got some ID?" I said, "No, I don't have no ID. I'm the kid." He said, "Well, you're going to ride me to your house." We said, "Where do you live?" I said, I'm over in New Eagle, and that was pretty far away. He said, "You're going to ride me to your house." And so, being a kid, I wasn't I wasn't maybe the brightest in the world. So I told him, sure, buddy, you just get on the back. And we lit out, and I cracked the throttle on that, dumped the clutch, pulled the front end up and dumped him right off the back of my dirt bike. And he fell over. And while I was riding away, I turned around and waved to him. I thought, whoo, I'm out of there, you know. Kids are kind of not real smart. I'm not going to say I'm proud of what I did, but I didn't know what else to do at the time. Well, you know, that son of a gun went to all the schools and found out who was not in school that day and who rode motorcycles. Of course, everybody at school, you know, all the teachers and counselors and everything, they all knew I rode a lot and I wasn't in school that day. That joker showed up at our house, man. My dad threw him out. He said, unless you got a warrant, get your tail out of here. But boy, when he come to me, when that guy left, I should have been running to the door. Hey man, it was me, take me away. But you know, we're dumb kids at the time. So I thought I'd throw that out there. I just kind of thought about that when I said about the game warden. But hey, let's get back to this licensing deal here on e-bikes. You know, I don't see that that's going to do good for anybody besides Uncle Sam. So, but I want to hear your comments on it. Like I said, I don't think it's going to affect most of us because it's not going to happen all over for probably 20, 25 years. And I don't imagine I'm going to still be riding bikes by that point. But it's going to affect our kids and stuff like that. It's just more government stepping in. But give me your thoughts on it. Go by, take a look at the bill. Like I said, it's a California Assembly Bill 530. There's a lot of stuff redacted in it, but I read what I believe to be all the pertinent parts of it to you right here. I mean, no, I didn't read that yet. I'll read that later, but I know exactly how long it's going to take to read that. No. You know, you heard all the parts of it. Look it up. Give me your thoughts on it. And hey, I think that's going to do it for this time around, Internet. So, till next time, this is Southern E-Biking. Out here, another beautiful, crisp August morning in North Carolina. Telling you, stay safe, God bless, and keep the wheels turning. Once again, we're out.